Start. Okay. Good morning. Good afternoon. Okay. It's not late live. Okay.
Now, Patricia, you can start.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all respected dignitaries of IIU and all viewers across the globe, honorable participants, and a loving audience present here from all around the globe. I am Dr. Patricia Gonde from Zimbabwe, and I will be your host today. It is my privilege to welcome you all to this seminar on bullying organized by International Internship University, the first global virtual university offering quality, accessible, and location-independent education around in all areas. International Internship University is a leading virtual education system and global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in delivering innovative programs. Globally, it is a trusted name for quality training programs and is committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. In a short span of time, IIU has spread its wings in 195 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit Sen, who is a committed and inspiring social activist. Mr. Piyush Pandit is a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education to students from various social and cultural backgrounds. What a pious start to begin this seminar. My topic today is on bullying, and we all know that there are different types of bullying that we have all heard. We have heard about physical bullying, social bullying, emotional bullying, so many of them. But today, I am not going to look at most of those types of bullying, but I am going to talk about cyberbullying. Let me share my screen, just a minute. So cyberbullying, this is the not so hidden pandemic, but it's happening in our schools. What is cyberbullying? It is bullying that takes place over digital devices like cell phones, computers, and tablets. And it includes sending, posting, or sharing negative, harmful, false, or mean content about someone else. Think about this. Have you heard about it? Have you experienced it? It can include sharing personal or private information about someone else, causing embarrassment or humiliation. Some cyberbullying crosses the line into unlawful or criminal behavior. You know what happened with our online education that was happening? Most of the children were using devices, some were using tablets in schools, Some were using cell phones. You will pardon me today, I'll be drinking my water, I've got flu. So in that process of using tablets and cell phones, some used it properly, but some didn't use it properly. Some went to sites that they were not allowed to, adult sites. So there they would meet strangers along the way. They would talk to strangers. So this is how bad the situation was. And then we move on to what difference between traditional and bullying and cyberbullying. The reason why I thought I could share is that bullying in our schools, it is quite pandemic and it has been going on for some time. And you can also agree with me that almost everyone uses digital devices, e.g. phones, laptops, and tablets. And this happens even, cyberbullying can even happen in your own house when your child is safely under lock and key. Our children and adults, we also access internet most of the time. So cyberbullying happens to everyone and is not choosy. Even you look at what's happening now, we have a senior member of our community who has died, and people start sharing information. And cyberbullying does not discriminate. Even right now, when Queen Elizabeth is being buried, you have seen people sending some information, some messages, and it also doesn't cut across the race. It doesn't matter who you are, what age you are, what religion, what status, what gender, political affiliation, and it is quite a menace to all of us. Think about the president of Kenya, who sent something on Twitter, and it went viral up to an extent that they had to close their account. So cyberbullying does not choose who you are. And then now, let's look at the traditional bullying versus cyberbullying. And what is traditional bullying and what is cyberbullying? So the bullying used to happen in front of our own eyes. Physical bullying, it happens at home, it happens in our workplace, at school, in church, at rallies, but it doesn't go as viral as cyberbullying. The hateful actions of those who cyberbully can easily go viral. That is a large number of people in the neighborhood, in the city, in the world. They can participate in the victimization, even if they don't know the person, thereby resulting in the pool of potential targets, the aggressor, the witnesses, the bystanders becoming limitless. So when one sends a photo, for example, you are sending to your friend or to someone, if that friend decides to send the photo, it becomes viral. It goes as far away as to many countries that you can think of. And then it is often easier to be cruel using technology, because cyberbullying can be done from physically distant location. I can be cyberbullied by someone who is far away from Zimbabwe, far away from Africa. And that aggressor doesn't have to see the immediate response of me, of the target. So very common, for example, perpetrators of cyberbullying, there are people whom we can say they are very bold. They can say mean things, they can say nasty things because they are not near you, they are on the internet, and no one can notice them. No one maybe can identify them, because sometimes, most of the time, they use pseudonyms or avatars. So bullying can be done from physically distant location, but this is what I was explaining, and that targets may not know who is targeting them or why. The aggressor can cloak his or her identity using anonymous accounts. You have seen people using anonymous accounts, anonymous names, and pseudonymous screen names because they don't want to be identified. For example, it's very common in gaming communities where gamers, people who play the games, they use pseudonyms. They use avatars where you don't know what the person looks like, what is their actual name. And this has accelerated the rate at which young people even bully each other because of the anonymity. They become even more bolder or daring because you cannot identify them, because they create fake accounts to threaten and attack other people. Many adults, the other reason is that many adults don't have the technological know-how. They call them BBT, born before technology. Some people call them born before technology. They don't know the technological know-how or time to keep track of what the young people are doing online. Many of us adults cannot keep up on checking what our children are doing online due to lack of knowledge or technophobia itself, or due to lack of time, because we are busy at work. We don't have time to see what your child is doing online. We have so many pressures at work, at home, in the community or family, so much that our little ones are left unattended and no one monitors them. This fuels cyberbullying. Those under attack, like the children, even adults, they always suffer in silence. And they can also be perpetrators themselves. They start as victims, but in the end, they can also become perpetrators, sharing news, hateful words, inductions. Some of our children are also being inducted into different cultisms, and it's very likely that they would not like to share with parents or other adults. So where is cyberbullying taking place? Cyberbullying takes place in social media, WhatsApp, the WhatsApp that we use every day. I remember last week I received a message which was threatening me while I was belonging to one organization. And this person was saying, you have been reported to another, it's a British whatever organization, and whilst I'm in Zimbabwe. So that's cyberbullying, and I had to block the person. So through social media platforms such as WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, you can name them all. And then some through voice or text chat in popular games, especially Roblox. I remember last year, our children here, they were grade 4s. We discovered that they had brought some weapons, some kitchen tools to school. And when we discovered that they brought these kitchen tools, we asked why they did it. They said, because they wanted to finish off the game that they had started online. So that's being dangerous. So we should watch what our children are doing. So this is a game, Roblox. They play PUBG, Overwatch, Call of Duty, Black Ops, Fortnite, God of War, you can name them all. There are some voiceovers there that they listen to. And then the other one is on video sharing. I don't know whether you've experienced that someone sends a video on Messenger or on WhatsApp to you. or on Facebook, then you open, they hack your account, or they send some messages there. Then through streaming and community sites such as YouTube, Discord, and Twitch. So parents need to know, especially what apps their children use. For example, WhatsApp, what are they using it for education or for communication purposes? Instagram, what are they using it for? And TikTok, Snapchat, all those apps, they need to know why they are being used by their children. As parents, we need to know the platforms, what our children are connected, so that we monitor. For example, WhatsApp, which is used for communication and education, you check how they are using it, and are they in the groups? There are some groups that they form, and do they communicate with people that they do not know? People who are strangers, do they have conversations with strangers? Because sometimes you'll find out that some strangers can hack into your account, and you see someone saying, I saw your number somewhere. So you have to be very careful as parents. And then how does it manifest? How do we identify and know how our children, our youths, our teens are being cyberbullied? You can look out for depression. Some of them go into depression and even isolating themselves. Some have got that anger that you can't even explain why your child is angry, why your teenager is angry. Why are they doing this? Some have frustration, low self-esteem, anxiety symptoms. You see that they are anxious. Then also academic difficulties. Their grades start becoming to go down. Their GPA, they've got some academic performance is affected. Low scores, maybe they do not even want to attend school. You find that your child used to go to school without any force, but this time the child is being forced to go to school. Or even adults, they don't want to go to work, maybe because someone is cyberbullying them. Their grades go down, like I said, they are delinquent. Sometimes they are so violent, and they exhibit traits that are removed from their normal behavior. And they withdraw. Sometimes they even withdraw from the social networks because that's where they are being cyberbullied. And sometimes you find that some of them have got suicidal thoughts because maybe they are being threatened. And some even attempt the suicide. So we have to be very careful what our children watch, especially nowadays, the most common one, they're using TikTok, they are using Snapchat, they are using Instagram. Some even write messages. Let's check the statuses, our children's statuses, our teen status, because that's where they write how they are feeling. And we know that it takes a village for us to raise children. Anybody connected to your child should watch out for any changes in behavior or what they post. It can be a cry for help. What do they post on their status? When you are aware of it, then you have to handle it diplomatically, but you must immediately take action. If you cannot do it on your own, then you need to get professional help. So why does it matter? These issues that we are talking about, cyberbullying, they have got the potential to lead to physical, emotional, psychological, economical injury of an individual. So these children, it can cause harm. Cyberbullying can cause so much harm that can happen to a victim. Socially, you find that if someone is being cyberbullied, like I said, they tend to be withdrawn. They tend to isolate themselves. When they're isolated, we don't even know what they are thinking about. That's where the suicidal thoughts come into action. That's where maybe they want to go and revenge and take weapons from home and they take them to school or to college or to university. So they become withdrawn. And then it tends to affect also their eating habits because they are now withdrawn in their own room. It kills their appetite. They don't want to eat. Emotionally, they tend to become violent. They become aggressive because of what have happened to them. So we have to be very a message, I think, from a spouse. Then she wanted to cut herself up, the veins physically. They can damage, they can be damaged. Psychologically as well, because it affects their mind, it affects their brain, it affects their state of condition they are in. And even economically, they can be affected. Why? Because sometimes when these people, they are online, they can victimize someone and then they can say, want to extort money from that person. So we have also heard about scams, whereby some people even promise you a job or a vacancy, and then they say you have to deposit so much money into the bank so that we can process your application. That happens through the internet. That's a cyber crime. Yes, cyberbullying is cyber crime. It's a cyber crime. And then I've heard one gentleman who had to sell his house because he had received a notice of a vacancy somewhere. And then they told him that he had to deposit so much amount of money for the application, for the air tickets, for the visa. And apparently he fell into the trap and discovered it late. I know that sometime I also received some scams, like someone would tell you that this is such a company, I cannot say names, you have won something worth 1 million, so we would like to process. Then I tried to go through the whole process, but I knew that it was a scam. Then I told them that, okay, you can send my certificate and whatever I got. And they said, then you need to pay some processing fee. It was a small amount of money that one would easily fall for. But then when I heard that I had to pay some money, then I told them that I know that this is a scam. So we have to be very careful, because it doesn't only affect us socially, but physically, economically, psychologically, emotionally as well. Because these people, sometimes they want to extort something from you. So cyberbullying needs our urgent impact. Online harassment and other violations affect a person's digital well-being and have the ripple effect of affecting relationships, family structures, and even company bottom lines and digital reputation. Yes, whole families, some families have been ripped apart due to online violations. and harassment. Harassment within the family setting, it can happen. And it can also happen within our inner circles, our family settings, church settings, workplaces, and by people whom we know and people whom we love and trust. So when we are sharing something confidentially, it can be sent to someone whom you trust, but that someone whom you trust can resend it to someone else, and then it becomes viral without even you knowing that. Consider the impact it can cause to a family. Just one message. I know that in, I think 3 years ago in my country, there was a photo that was sent on social media of a man and a woman. Apparently they were not husband and wife, but then that photo caused a marriage breakdown because it was someone else's husband that this lady was with. And then they had gone somewhere. Then you know what, journalists, they just come and take photos, and then they were saying that, oh, this place yesterday had was a hive of activities, and then they sent that photo. And that photo brought a marriage breakdown, and it affects, you know, that when marriage breaks down, it affects a lot of people, the children, the family members, the community as well. So just, we have to be careful what we send on social media. When you want to send something, think twice. Especially, don't share videos or photos of yourself in a compromising situation to anyone, because you have no control. The moment that picture is out of your phone, that message that you are sending is out of your hand, you do not have any control, because that message can be sent to someone. Someone can send to someone, boom, it goes viral. So we have to be very, very careful what we send to some our family or our friends, or whenever we are sending messages. And then we have to teach our children, our teens, whoever, whom we stay with, that whenever someone is cyberbullying you, there is that button called the block button. If you are not happy about it, block the person or mute the person, unfriend the person. So you know what happens nowadays is that our young children, they always want to have many followers. They go and look for followers out there on Snapchat, on Instagram. Please follow me, like my picture. And then the next moment, someone is sending you a message. You have so many friends. Some people come and say, can you be my friend? And you become their friends. But the next moment, they come to your inbox or to your messenger to say, how are you? Are you married? Are you? But you said you wanted to be my friend, that's all. So we have to be very careful. Let's not fall into the trap of having so many followers. Some of them are not genuine followers. So we have to be very careful. We have also to watch our own posts and comments that we also send on social media, our actions as well. What do we send on social media? That's where sometimes we attract those aggressors who come and cyberbully us because of the comments that we send. What happens now when we are cyberbullied? We have to stay calm, and you have to keep all the evidence that you have, and you have to consult with whatever proof that you have. Sometimes you might even need to change your contact details or your settings on the social media platforms that you are in. So how do we identify someone who is being cyberbullied? Sorry, let me go back. How do we identify when someone is being cyberbullied? You can identify that someone is being cyberbullied. Some become withdrawn. They withdraw maybe from social media. They withdraw from gaming or any digital activity that they are involved in. And then if it is a child, they are fearful of going to school or away from home, because sometimes these perpetrators, they threaten you that if you go out of your home, we are going to fix you. So they are fearful of going to school or away from home. Or like I told you, the story of the two children who brought weapons because they wanted to finish the game that they started of clapping each other on internet. They now wanted to use weapons. So you see that your child or now doesn't want to go to school. Then you have to find out why the child doesn't want to go to school. Sometimes they do have poor eating habits. Like I said, they are depressed, they are frustrated. So they end up having poor eating habits, and their concentration span is very low. And some of these are telltale signs of cyberbullying. And then also they have problems with their sleep patterns. And sometimes they are also very unusually secretive about online activities. So you see that your child used to be on maybe playing a game, and now they do not know, they no longer want to use that digital device that they were very much into. And sometimes they are not even relaxed, they are very upset after using the digital device. You see that someone is aggressive, someone, you watch out the language that they are using after using maybe playing games. Sometimes they become very reserved and very secretive about their online activities. And they also do not like to tell you about whom they are talking to, even including offline activities where they don't want to go. Sometimes they even don't want to go to church. They don't want to participate in youth activities, school activities. They don't want to go to public places. They are fearful of people, even in the family. They do not trust anyone. And those poor sleeping patterns, it means that maybe your child or the adult, or they are being victimized. Then we sometimes you tell that your child is a victim by being nervous when using devices, like I said, and sometimes they are very withdrawn. It shows that they might be cyber bullied. Then coming to the perpetrator, how do you know that your child may be the perpetrator? You must bear in mind that your child can also be the perpetrator. Watch how they walk into the room. Watch how they walk into their rooms. When you walk into their rooms as well, what happens? Do they panic? Do they switch off their device quickly when you enter their room? Sometimes they are very unusually obsessed with their device. They even carry it to the bathroom. They even carry it wherever they want to go. They do not want to put it down. And if you happen to have access to the gadget, you cannot access because of the complicated passwords or security features that they've put on that gadget, then you know that maybe my child might be a perpetrator. Also, you need to check why they put those complicated passwords. Maybe it's because they want to use it at school. Sometimes we always tell them that you have to change passwords frequently. But if it is being used at home, you have to know why. And you have to, sometimes they avoid discussions. Whenever you are talking about online activities, they always try to avoid discussions that happen about online activities. And I said that they can be very clingy, clinging to their phones. They can also be withdrawn and isolate themselves. They are very secretive about their online activities. And you'll find out that sometimes they have got so many multiple accounts that they use, multiple online accounts that they use, and they can even have fake accounts. I remember with our grades 5, 6, and 7, at the school that I am, we normally call someone a digital expert who come to talk to them about digital safety. And then she was just asking questions about students accessing their internet and how they are accessing, do they have passwords? And then they said yes. And then she asked, how old are you? You are 12. Why do you have a Gmail account? And then because they're underage, they said we wrote the wrong date of birth so that we can access some of those sites. So they also create those fake accounts themselves. They are very clever. And you can also tell by their violent behavior. If they are asked about online activities, they are very aggressive and they are very violent. Then you know that maybe my child is a perpetrator. And if you want to advise them or you want them to be offline, they can be so violent. So one key component to be looked at is that cyberbullies are very people who are very prideful of how they are good at playing games. You hear someone telling you, I am the best in my game. I was able to beat someone. I killed someone on the game. Then you know that they are playing different games. Sometimes they want to tell you their ability when they are playing games, like they defeat everybody in the online game, e.g. king of they are king of the game. So bullying others, they also sometimes bully others into joining or not joining. Why didn't you join the game while we are all in the class playing that game? So we have to listen to their tone, especially when they are playing games. They enact themselves. And then we also have to listen to their language, their physical demeanor when they are playing those games. And these can point out if they are perpetrators or if they can also be aggressors. Then we move on to the last part of my talk, where I am going to talk about the ways we can safeguard against cyberbullying. So we safeguard ourselves and family against violations. We must be mindful of privacy settings on the devices that we are using to dissuade hackers, because hackers can easily hack us because maybe of our privacy settings. And then we should highly technical skilled people can easily infiltrate our digital space if we do not use strong passwords. We should try to use strong passwords, and passwords should be changed frequently. Then we should restrict access to personal contact information. We do not have to give everyone our personal contact information, especially strangers. We should tell our children not to share personal information to strangers. And then we need to apply internet etiquette. We all have the responsibility to speak well online, and also we need to be aware of the sites, the site-based controls that are there. Do they allow people to have personal information when they log in? Because too much personal information with people is disastrous, especially with people whom you meet online. So we should be careful about revealing too much personal information to people whom we meet online. Then we must not be pressured by anyone to share personal information. For example, videos, send me your video, send me your picture. This reminds me about what happened last week. I am in so many groups, international groups, and then this lady comes to say, oh, what's your name? My name is so and so. And then we started talking, and then she said, please share your picture. And I was asking myself, why? Why should I share my picture with someone whom I don't know? Because the next moment I would see my picture being used for something else. So we should be very careful when we are sharing personal information, pictures, even videos, because they might be used for something else. So you should also determine your own comfort level with blocking people. Don't hesitate. If someone is cyberbullying you, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to block that person. Keep the screenshot of the messages or whatever that person is sending you, so that you might need to use them in future. And then also mute, you can use the mute button. Unfriending also, or unfollowing certain people the moment you discover that those people want to cyberbully you, because the moment, especially for us women, we become friends to the opposite sex, the next moment some people are not so genuine. They come to your messenger, to your inbox, hello, how are you? Where are you coming from? And then you say, I'm from Zimbabwe. I hear that things in Zimbabwe are not so good. We can help you. So you block and friend and follow those people. If you are not comfortable, then consider the context of our comments. I think I said this, that we have to be mindful of what we also send, because it might incite some people to reply you the way you do not want them to reply. Even our posts, how are we sending our posts on Facebook? Our pictures that we are sending, we have to be mindful of whatever we are sending. Our text, what are we sending to other people? Let's have that internet etiquette, like I said, and any other online interactions that we might be having. So I know we have to, when someone is being cyberbullied, my last slide, we have to remain calm, and sometimes you do not even need to retaliate, because when you retaliate, you are fueling the fire. And then keep evidence of everything, the screenshot, the messages, and talk to a trusted individual. If you are being bullied, you have someone whom you trust, talk to them, that I think someone is trying to cyberbully me. And in most countries, cyberbullying is a criminal offense. You can refer to law enforcement in cases where there is physical threat. You can report to the police if you feel threatened to an extent where ignoring the aggressor is not helping. You can consult a lawyer. You can cut ties with and block the person that is harassing or threatening you. And you might need to change your contact details or even to remove, pull the Facebook page down or something if it is for your protection. And we must be very attentive. Just to round up, we must lead by example. We must monitor our children's behavior online, and we must build that trust we have with our children, our family members, because some of the people, the post that they send, they are a cry for help. We need to be communicate, to talk to them, to be trustworthy. And we need to continuously educate and communicate with them. And then the victims of cyberbullying, they need our support, our continued support. They need our love, especially from families and friends. And then we have to be attentive to signs of potential online harassment. It can happen to anyone. Like I said, it doesn't discriminate according to race, age, religion, political affiliation, anything. Let's watch out for the signs of potential online harassment. And we need to have the numbers of people who can help, e.g. the helpline numbers on us, so that we can also use them, counselors who can counsel us, and then encourage our family members to seek help. Thank you so much for being with us today. This is the end of my presentation for today. Thank you so much, IIU, for giving me this opportunity to be with you today. I hope I have added value on what you knew on cyberbullying today. Ermina, my friend, are you there?